Okay, let's get started. So this is Veysel Kocaman, CTO of Johnson Labs. Johnson Labs is there for the last 10 years, so we can proudly say that we have 10 plus years of excellence in healthcare AI. Johnson Labs is the provider or the developer of open source Spark NLP library as well, which has been downloaded more than 160 million times so far. And then healthcare NLP and Visual NLP is already sitting on the shoulder of Spark NLP, open source NLP. And then we are a large team distributed across the world. So we are about like 125 people to provide solutions for challenges mostly in healthcare. We have finance and legal NLP solutions as well. They are also licensed library, which I'm going to mention, but we basically release every other week. So every solution and model that we have are up to date. We try to make sure that they are up to date. Whenever there's a new paper or there's a new model architecture release in academia or in research community, or we develop internally, most of the time we develop and then publish papers as well. So we try to deploy all these solutions to solve real world problems via end-to-end integration. So healthcare NLP, like our flagship library, right? So this is a library that you can use to solve your own problems with your on-prems, which means that whatever you see and run in a Colab notebook in our workshop repo, you can do the same on your own local infra, because we are supporting all the other infrastructures and ecosystem as well, which I'm going to cover. So in healthcare side, we have more than 2,600 different pre-trained models. They are at different sizes. Like some of them are just for entity extraction, some of them are end-to-end entity extraction, relation extraction, ICD-10 code extraction, etc. So we have more than 2,600 pre-trained models, by the way, trained by us. So they are not just dumped into our library from Hugging Face or somewhere. No, we have already in open source, we have more than 130,000 models. But in healthcare, all these models are developed and maintained by us, our healthcare NLP team. So I've been leading the healthcare NLP team for the last 5 years at Johnson Labs. So I can proudly say that we are already supporting more than 100 major healthcare organizations across the globe. So our trusted healthcare partners, which means that we did projects with them, we are collaborating with them, we are partnering with them to solve certain problems or help their own customers, right? Let's say that Databricks comes to us and then they have their own customer. We work with them to provide solutions in Databricks environment to solve that problem. So we also work with different pharmaceutical companies like Roche, Novartis, etc. So to solve their own problem by using our own solutions. And then we have a nice industry recognition as well through different awards and some solutions that we are awarded for excellence to solve certain problems. So as I mentioned, these are the top, maybe a few use cases that I can mention. By the way, anything that you see here are already on our website as well. If you go to johnsonalways.com/customers, you will see all these use cases. We are organizing Healthcare AI Summit, Applied AI Summit. Lately, we rebranded it. So every 6 months or every quarter, we used to do this every quarter, but right now, every 6 months, we have an Applied AI Summit that we cover all these use cases with the people coming from these companies. So they cover their own use cases. So if you just Google or go to YouTube Johnson Labs channel, you will see all these use cases over there as well, presented by their own product owners. So for example, for the West Virginia University, we are doing some HCC code discovery. For Roche, we did some building oncology patient timelines. For Merck, we did some patient experience journey, like patient journey products. For Providence Health system, we helped them to identify 700 million clinical notes and so on. So we have more than 100 different use cases like this, all using healthcare NLP and Visual NLP solutions on their on-prem. And there are tons of resources to learn all this, by the way, which I'm going to mention as well. So as I said, this session, my session will be an intro session to explain, to get to know you what you can find in Johnson Labs ecosystem and healthcare NLP ecosystem, because we are there for the last 10 years, and then we develop many solutions to solve real-world problems in healthcare with different partners and companies, as you see on this screen. So that's why the library, the model that we are developing, are forged through real-world problems, which means that whatever we put over there that you see in the notebooks, let's say, or in your own code base, are coming from various experiences or headaches or pain points that we try to solve while helping those customers. And each one, as you know, comes with their own problem, own niche use case that we try to integrate our models, our solutions into their own workflow so that they can serve their own customers at scale, or they can solve their own problems. So if we go a bit high level, Johnson Labs is the provider of various libraries. Spark NLP is an open source library, which has been downloaded more than 160 million times so far. It is a production grade text processing library, open source already, that millions of people are already using. And on top of this, we built healthcare NLP, visual NLP, finance NLP, and legal NLP. So we mostly focus more on the healthcare NLP and visual NLP. And with this library, we provide different solutions and models. So it's not just models, it is a tool that you can build your own solution. Of course, we have medical large language models as well that you can use within the same library, small models, medium-sized models as well. We have a containerized solutions for this as well, which I'm going to cover as well. But we use this pipeline, these annotators, these modules to solve different problems. And then we have notebooks for this. If you go to Spark NLP workshop repo, you will see all these use cases as a end-to-end walkthrough, right? So which means that if you want to do medical terminology mapping, we have a notebook to show you how you extract the named entities and then map them to the entity resolution, like different medical terminologies, and then how you can dump into your own DB. Or if you want to do some medical summarization or question answering, we have a notebook for this as well. Or how to fine tune any model that you see here. Or if you want to do patient risk adjustment, because we know that with LLM era, people tend to write less code, right? So but we have a model that you can accomplish your goal end to end. But if you want to deep dive, because this is the beauty of healthcare NLP, by everything that you see is open box. It's not black box, which means that every solution that we provide here is the combination of different stages that you can plug and play and then change the nature. If you don't, for example, you would like to extract certain PHI entities, sensitive entities, if the model, pre-trained model, because they may not generalize on your own data distribution, right? So you can just go ahead and then replace that stage or fine-tune that stage and then stitch it back into the pipeline, and then you can keep the existing pipeline. So you can update the existing pipeline and then keep using it. So it's not like one single LLM that you just prompt and pray, right? So of course we have LLM-based solutions as well. I'm going to cover them as well. But the beauty of healthcare NLP is that you can run these models at scale over millions of records on your on-prem without burning any GPU, because they are all CPU optimized already. So JSL ecosystem is the combination of multiple venues. So like upper left corner is our demo page, which means that you can go to demo page and then just click on any of them and then see how different models can work. On the upper center, we have a model hub that you can find all these 2,600 different healthcare models over there by querying. On the upper right corner, we have a workshop repo. On the bottom right corner, we have a SDK for the developers so that you can understand what's happening underneath. And then we have a large documentation. You can even, we even have a deep wiki for this that you can go ahead and ask your own question, like how to build certain pipelines, etc. It will help you because there are hundreds of models right over there. And then we don't expect you to be an expert, but we have Udemy courses or Colab notebooks, like more than 200 different notebooks to show you how to do this as well. As I said, all these models and library, because if you are building a library, if you are building a software, you need to make sure that your customers, your users can use that on their on-prem, right? It's not just, okay, you can just deploy this as a Docker container. No, maybe they are using Microsoft Fabric, maybe they are using Colab, or they are using Databricks or some other ecosystem or dependencies that we may have that they may have an issue to introduce latest tech stack, right? Because I have seen many use cases that people are working in some infra behind firewall, they cannot even do any pip install. So when you have the library, for example, healthcare NLP, you don't even need to do any other pip install as long as we deploy everything over there, because we share the wheel files, jar files, etc. And then when you deploy, the only things that you need is a models. You can download the model. You can download the models offline and then ship into your on-prem and then go into an air-gapped environment and then start using it. For each of these ecosystems and infra that you see on this screen are already tested, and we have solutions over there. For example, for Snowflake, we have different solutions, like a same name identity recognition model or LLM can work on Snowflake with a different solution. In Fabric, we have another, but everything is using the same library, so you don't need to plug and play anything. We even work with data EQ or Synapse ML, which means that we tested our models and code base in those infra so that they don't conflict with their own dependencies. Of course, since we are saying we provide state-of-the-art latest models in healthcare AI, we need to prove this, right? That's why we have publications. We publish regularly. For the last 7 years, we publish more than 60 different articles. So they are all peer-reviewed. You can go to our website and then click on a peer-reviewed publication. You will see all these publications, which got more than 2,000 citations so far. So those are the bottom right corner. You see the top publication menus that we publish, that we submit our papers. Sometimes we wait 1 year to get it published because of competition. Sometimes we get in a month if it is not outdated. Some topics are usually outdated when they are published. But we proud to say that those are the top publication venues we usually pick and then manage to publish our research over there. And then research breakthrough, areas breakdown are, so we publish on clinical identification, medical name identity recognition, how we evaluate our medical large language models, and other problems that we try to solve in healthcare AI. So we try to publish papers on this that you can also go ahead and then read. These are some of those papers that we recently published in the last few years. For example, we have clinical LLM evaluation by expert reviewer. We call it Clever. We submitted it to Jimir. And then we have several of the identification publications as well, how we do the obfuscation, how we do the identification, how we ensure the consistency across different modalities for the identification. And then we try to explain how we do this so that nothing is black box. We share the metrics, we explain the methodologies, we share reproducible notebooks so that you can reproduce all these benchmarks as well. And then we try to give you some other ideas that you would employ in your own use cases so that it's not just there to show off. It is there to help the research community to benefit from this as well. We regularly publish at conferences as well. We are invited sometimes and then have a talk over certain use cases that we help in real world situations. I strongly suggest you go ahead and then check our Applied AI Summit recordings at YouTube, because there are hundreds of different use cases that you can get to learn just by watching a 20 minutes videos over there, rather than just marketing videos. They are real world use cases presented by the owners of that research from that companies. So, as I said, there are many resources if you would like to learn how to build such solutions with your own data without even letting us know, so that no one can see your data, and then you can run everything on your own prem. So we have Udemy courses as well. For open source NLP, we have Spark NLP for data scientist course. We have healthcare NLP for data scientist course as well, that you can go ahead and then subscribe and then learn. But all of them are already, we have a notebook. All these notebooks are already open source in our Spark NLP workshop report tutorials MOOC notebooks. This is the path to the notebooks, by the way.